Hey, my fellow nerds, geeks, and or comic book lovers, welcome back to the channel. My name is NeuroSpider369, and today we'll be taking a look at my top 5 forgotten Spider-Man villains. Now, of course, this list is of my own personal opinion, so feel free to put your list down in the comments. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Number 5, Night and Fog. We start off the list with this pair of superpowered Scousers who've only made their appearance throughout a couple issues of Amazing Spider-Man. Now, these two I find to be both interesting and quite frankly entertaining. They share a unique dynamic between each other when it comes to their powers and personalities. Night has the ability to turn his skin into a metallic-like armor, hence his name, and Fog can transform his body into a gaseous form, kinda like vapor. And as for their personalities, Night has a more cold and serious demeanor about him, while Fog's is a little more chaotic and unhinged. So yeah, they're complete opposites of one another, but that's honestly kind of what makes them a fun read. I do think I like Night just a little bit more than Fog though, due to him sporting a cooler design and his powers being more badass. Number 4, Paper Doll. Originally, I wasn't sure if I was going to add her on here, as I had another candidate in mind for this spot. But ultimately, I decided to go with her. Paper Doll has the ability to make herself 2D and basically blend into any flat surface area. Not to mention, she can also compress people's bodies to where they're left completely flat, which of course kills them in the process. And what makes her even more terrifying is the fact that she's a love-obsessed stalker, mostly towards a celebrity whom she doesn't just massively simp over, but has entire fantasies about. That's kinda terrifying when you think about it. A delusional fangirl who can hide in plain sight without you knowing it, and turn you into a compacted corpse. Definitely not a combination you ever want to see occur, but it sure does make for one hell of a rogue. Number 3, White Rabbit. Alright, now the main reason why I like White Rabbit so much is mostly due to a personal headcanon I have for her. Mind you, I'm not an expert in the field of psychiatry by any means when I say this, but I've always felt that she could possibly be on the autism spectrum. Speaking as an autistic individual myself, I think that Lorena somewhat displays the traits of a neurodivergent. For one thing, she spent her entire childhood being sheltered, which I can relate to, and another being her obsession with Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. I think the latter could be depicted as a hyperfixation of hers, as it's pretty common among people with autism and or ADHD. Hell, the two have a tendency to coincide with each other, so it's possible she could have ADHD. I hope I pronounced that right. I mean, it's not like we ever see comic book villains who are on the spectrum. Well, except for Black Manta, but that's a topic for another video that I won't get into right now. Number 2, Carrion. So, for a while, Carrion was actually my favorite forgotten Spider-Man villain before being bumped down to my second. Don't get me wrong, I still like him quite a lot, especially with how tragic he's been portrayed in later comics. You kind of feel bad for him knowing that he wants to rid himself of the virus, even though he willingly injected himself with it in the first place, and isn't in control of his actions whenever it takes over him. And to make matters worse for Malcolm, not only does the virus have its own separate personality, but also has the ability to kill any person with just a single touch. Think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde if Hyde were Thrax from Osmosis Jones. That's pretty much him in a nutshell, essentially. And how could you not love the concept of that? But as great as he is, there's still one other rogue I put above him, and that rogue is Vermin. Yep, old Vermin here earns the number 1 spot as my favorite forgotten Spider-Man villain. Though I wouldn't necessarily call him a villain per se. Yeah, he's done some bad things before, but much like with Carrion, he didn't really have any control over his bad side. In fact, I'd say Vermin is even much more sympathetic than him, given his abusive childhood and being turned into a humanoid rat against his will by Baron Zemo. Unlike Malcolm, however, Vermin has actually been cured of his transformations for extended periods of time, while also proving to be an occasional ally to the web crawler. One thing I find truly endearing is his friendship with Ravencroft Institute's director, Ashley Kafka. Out of all the patients she's tried to cure, Vermin has always been the one she was determined to reform the most. I honestly hate the fact that he's become so forgotten, because he truly is an underrated character in the Spider-Man mythos, and I wish we would see more of him every now and then. Well, there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite forgotten Spider-Man villains. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know who your favorite forgotten Spidey rogue is. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Catch y'all later.